Hey man,
Sid, how you doing?
good man. Good to check you out on this Women's Day. So to hi to all the ladies and hope you're having a great day. So let's get down to the cricket. All right, man. What were your thoughts on the Ashes being 2-all? I know there was a little bit of a controversy because of that ball change, because the ball that got changed looked much more newer than the previous ball, but it is what it is. I mean, there's a lot of interesting theories there, but I guess it's a fair scoreline, I guess. But an entertaining series, but also frustrating at the same time. Nowhere near the quality of 2005, but it was entertaining. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, no, before I go into the Ashes, happy Women's Day to our mothers, our sisters, daughters out there, friends, I hope they're all having a lovely day, nice, relaxing day. Getting to the Ashes, I'll be very honest with you. I think England were the better side in the series. I think they were the better team.
Mm,
But
mm,
I just
mm,
feel there were moments in the series where they just didn't, you know, uh, they had Australia by the sword and they didn't really, they let them off the hook. Going
mm,
back to that first test, they probably
mm.
should have won that game. They probably,
Yeah,
probably should have won that game.
yeah.
I think there's a few decisions that went wrong there. I mean, um, when they had Australia 8 down, they all they needed to do was just clean up that tail, and then the Australian tail started wagging there with Lyon and
Yeah.
Cummins,
Mm,
and
mm.
that premature declaration on the first day of the first of the Ashes series. I think that was a bit,
Yeah, there, yeah.
you know, it was a little bit of strange for me because I mean, if you look at what happened thereafter, they didn't really look for an early declaration, especially in that the game at Old Trafford where they performed so well. You know,
Mm,
500 there. So this is Ashes cricket. You got to try and get as many runs as possible on the board and put
mm.
Australia under pressure. And I think they weren't banking on Australia to get so close to that score. And I mean, credit to Khawaja. I think Khawaja played a fantastic knock there. He obviously held the innings together.
Yeah.
But there were moments in the series where England they just didn't stamp their authority.
Mm,
We could have been looking at a 4-0 win for England here, as opposed to a 2-all draw. But
mm,
having said that, I think Australia did enough at certain moments
mm,
to get those victories. So
mm.
it's a tough one, hey. A part of me is saying that 2-all is quite a fair result of the series, and another part of me is saying that England
Yeah,
definitely should have won the series. You know, because to me they were the better side. I mean, they played the
yeah.
better cricket after the two tests. I mean, we were talking about Australia and how Australia just they look so depleted after that second test where they won.
Mm,
They I mean, they didn't look like a side that were actually going out to win. They were actually playing pretty safe cricket at some stages. They weren't that they weren't taking too many risks. They were just trying to try and play for draws and stuff, which is a bit un-Australian like. But I think that was the pressure that England put on
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that having said that, but I mean, Old Trafford was a disappointment with the rain,
Mm,
and
mm, mm.
what it is, eh? I think England have a very good record at the Oval, and it proved well. And I mean,
Yeah,
Broad, salute one of the great Test careers, eh? I think he had a fantastic game, and I mean, for a fitting finish for Broad. I mean, to take the final wicket and take his country home. But I think England, although they'd be happy that they drew the series from 2-0 down.
mm, mm.
I think there's a bit of slight disappointment as well, and I think the same can be said with Australia as well, because I mean, 2-0 down, 2-0 up, you probably want to think of going on and winning the series, but
Mm.
they let the advantage slip. So yeah, I think possibly if you look at it, yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic series. Let's be honest. I still put the 2005 series up there as the best,
Mm.
but this one is probably going to come second. Yeah, but the 2005 one is probably the best that we've seen in the modern era.
Yeah, like if you look at this Ashes series, the reason why I say frustrating is because if you look at the first two tests, the way England fielded and bowled, it was like they were playing like beach cricket, like if they were playing like club cricket, if you know what I mean. Like the fielding and catching was so bad. I mean, their fielding and I mean, the bowling was okay in the first two tests, although their bowling at Lords was pretty pathetic in the first day, but then afterwards they kind of got the act together, and I think it was like, and they caught well in the first two tests. They probably would have. I mean, there's no guarantee on Lords because we know that Australia would have made it Lords had England bowled half decently, but it's a frustrating series because England should have probably won it had they won the first test, and I think they probably would have won 3-1. Let's be realistic, probably 3-1. I think 3-1 sounds fair because we don't know how Lords would have gone, and I think I'll give Australia Lords. And I think Headingley could have actually, yeah, I think Headingley will give to England because England played a lot better at Headingley. They scored better, and Old Trafford they were close to perfection. Although I still had that question mark on the declaration. I felt they could have probably declared it a 200-run lead because even if England had to chase hypothetically, I mean they could have chased the runs. You know the way they're going at 5 runs and over. 6 runs and over, it's crazy stuff. I know Jack Crowley was saying that he's looking forward to India with his bad ball. I love to see Jack Crowley doing those things in India with those interesting pitches, but that'd be fun, man.
Look, I just want to be honest with you, right? I think, to be honest with you, yeah, England. I mean, bowling wasn't that bad in the first two tests, but I don't think they had their best side. But once you included guys like Moeen Ali, you include guys like Wokes and Wood. I mean, you saw a totally different England side. You saw a totally different switch. I mean, the bowling attack looked more aggressive, and they were actually going out hunting wickets. I think in the first two tests, you saw a bit of defensiveness, in certain stages of the game, especially when Khawaja was running riot in that first innings, in Edgbaston. England looked a bit. Yeah, I suppose you're right what you're saying. They looked a bit flat, but the inclusion of those players, Wokes, Wood, and Moeen Ali, they just gave them such a lift to this team. And we saw England play their best cricket thereafter. But yeah, I mean it's unfortunate. Hey, I mean that Old Trafford the game was rained out because I think England surely definitely would have went on to win that game. So I just feel England left it too late. So I think they left it too late. To actually try and win the series. They left it too late.
Yeah.
It came back to it. So by no means, I mean this is a fantastic team, eh? This England side is fantastic, and I think they're just going to get better and better.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to very interesting what that series is going to unfold in Australia down under, because I think there's a few Australian players that are going to be on the verge of retirement there. So that's going to be a really competitive series. I think it's high time that we're going to get a competitive series in Australia, because it's been a bit one-sided for quite a number of years.
Funeral, man. It's been like a funeral. I don't even like watching Australia.
No, I totally agree.
I don't like watching those series. Really. I get really deflated in that series. In fact, the way this series was going in England, I thought it was going to go like that up to the first, I think, 2 tests and a half, because the way England batted in the first inning, the Headingley, I thought, but yeah. Stokes could have also been a potential man of the series, but then I think Wokes got it, which is fine. He does deserve it. And then Mitchell Starc got it for Australia, which is good for him. And then I think, what's funny about 2005? Though England won that series 2-1, I can remember. I don't know if that's correct. 2-1.
Yes, 2-1.
But you remember in that final test, the bad light had come. And I'm not saying Australia would have won, but it would have been interesting to see how the chase would have gone. If England would have won a 3-1, or would it have been a draw? Australia were trying to chase to equal the Ashes. Remember the bad light has come, and the umpire that told the players no more play. If you remember that, so maybe Australia could say maybe it's not coming to them,
I think England had quite a substantial lead there. I think there was 2 less time for Australia to actually chase that total in that final test. So I think both teams batted pretty well in that first innings, and then they cancelled each other out. But I mean, Kevin Peterson, I mean, that was a fantastic knock from him. To be honest with you, I mean, the series in that series was probably, from an Australian side. I mean, Wani, he was absolutely brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. I think the captaincy of Vaughan in that series was so outstanding. The way he marshaled his troops,
Yeah.
I mean, sensational. So for me, that series is right up there
Okay.
in terms of thrills, and this one comes quite close in second. So
Hmm.
we've actually seen two great series, and even I can't wait for the next one because Ashes cricket is quite. It's getting interesting now, hey, with the way England are playing, the brand of cricket England is playing. It's
Yeah.
getting quite competitive, and yeah.
Yeah. But they first got to try and conquer India to gain some confidence to then go to Australia. But Indian series are always tricky because they are very interesting pitches. Let's put it that way. Okay, let's get to
Yeah, I
India.
think that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we go to India and the West Indies. Interesting series. This India won the ODI series 2-1. And then, though for the T20 series, India won the yesterday's one to keep the series alive at so far 2-1 for the West Indies. Who would have thought that, man? But then it's a confusing one because India's not playing 100% the best side. It's more like giving players chances. So, but the first two are really close. Could have gone either way. So India finally got it right. What are your thoughts, man, so far on this ODI stuff?
I think it's been interesting. Eh? I think it's been a lot more interesting than what we saw in the test matches because the test matches were a bit of a snore fest. So, I mean, okay, fair enough. I mean,
Yeah.
India are not playing their best team, but I mean, we know the talent of India. I mean, they can put any
Hmm.
side on the park, and you see
Yeah.
talent right through that lineup. And you talk
Hmm.
about the batting, the bowling. I mean, but I mean, clear to the Windies, the pitches have been assisting them quite well, especially in the one-day series, the ODI series. That second game they did play quite well. The first game was a bit of
Okay.
a funeral,
Yeah.
I would say, but the pitch
Yeah.
wasn't the best as well. And then I think India showed their class in that third game, and they ended up winning the series.
Yeah.
But this T20 series is a bit of a cliffhanger. It's a bit of a
Hmm.
ding dong thing, hey?
Hmm.
Because I mean the Windies they showed a lot of fight in those first two games, hey? And those first two games were pretty close, and they held their nerve. And then
Hmm.
India came back yesterday, winning 2-1.
Hmm.
If I look at the way things are going now at the moment, if all the Windies have to do is win another game and they win the series, so the stakes are quite high now, sir. The stakes are quite high. I think pressure is on India a bit because they need to win the next game to keep it alive. Because if the Windies win this one, they win the series. And with the way the West Indies cricket has been going on for the last couple of months, I mean, you couldn't be. I mean, you kind of got to be happy for them if they do manage to win the series. Hey, it gives them a bit of a lift. It's something that they kind of needed. And they haven't had for a long time. So if they win the series, it would give them a bit of lift and give their supporters, some respite as well.
Yeah, I'm just trying to check something here. I tell you why, because I was seeing on the placard when I was with my mom, and it said something at Kingsmead, SA and Australia. I don't know if it's this month. I'm just looking at it now. Oh yeah, yeah, it is. I just saw it now. It's T20 series. I think they're only playing T20, isn't it?
Yes, 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 correct. The Aussies are going to be in town come end of August to early September. So yeah, Kingsmead is getting the first three T20s.
Yeah. They're only playing T20 in South Africa. I thought they were going to play some ODI, like 50 overs, or
Yeah,
just
they're going to play
T20.
some ODIs, but the ODIs are going to be spread out, you know, across the rest of the country.
No, but I mean, like, are the 50 overs also going to be a part of this trip or just on another trip? That's what
No, 50
I meant.
overs will be part of the strip as well, sir, because I mean, this is World Cup year, so 50 overs cricket is very important. So I think
Uh,
they are going to be playing 50 overs as well.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess you're right. The first T20 is on the 30th of August, 1st of September, then 3rd of September. You want to do a quick review or you want to postpone that?
I think we'll leave that for another episode because that's that's going to be quite an interesting series. And I will be attending one of those games, which is on Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
3rd
Okay.
of September. Yeah, I won't be able to make it for the weekday games because of work commitments and stuff. But I'll definitely be there on the 3rd at Kingsmead. And it's been a while since I've been to Kingsmead, so it's going to feel a bit strange, but looking forward to it. Hey.
Yeah, it's been crazy time with COVID and yeah, and I saw on a video, I think COVID is back, so safe. Hmm.
Sorry, I lost you there, Sid. You
You
were
just
saying?
broke up there. Uh, no, you were telling me. Oh yeah, sorry. What I was saying was that just keep safe because I know that COVID has, come back and all that. I saw it in the news. I think that's more in the UK and the US, but you never know. It could rear its head in South Africa, so just be careful. I think there's like a new virus there, Eris or something. I don't know if you've actually heard about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for a lot of sports, especially cricket has suffered a lot in this country
Yeah,
due to COVID.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and hence since the T20 competition to obviously generate more revenue for CSA, because CSA has taken a major knock in terms of
Hmm.
finances and revenue. So it's been tough times. So I am hoping that we get a lot more international cricket.
Hmm.
And I think this country as a whole, they're probably more inclined to white ball cricket. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be such a bad idea to get more white ball tours. However, I mean, we
Hmm.
the purists and we also love our Test cricket as well, hey. But I think the majority
Hmm.
of the country doesn't really share our sentiments as well when it comes to Test cricket. But I mean, T20 and ODI is
Yeah.
real fun as well. So I do hope we get a lot more tours.
Yeah. Okay. Any final words before we wrap up?
Yeah, Windies and when India, I think it's going to be quite an interesting series. I am tipping the Windies to win this one 3-2.
Oh, I have this feeling if India win the next one, they'll probably win the series 3-2. So I'm hoping
Yeah,
the India. I'm actually hoping India will win it, and I'll tell you why. Because it'll kind of defeat the experimentation if they lose the series, or maybe not. Maybe they'll think that they could have. We've at least got the benefit of trying out people. But if they win the series, then it vindicates them, probably using them as part of their main side. Otherwise, you know what happens. That after this series gets over, they'll get back to their main players, and then the poor player that they've experimented here don't get any more chances. So I think in that sense, it'd be nice for India to win the series. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
yeah, I do get what you're saying. I mean, it's hard enough breaking to this Indian side. I mean, there's so much of competition for
Hmm.
places. So, but I just feel Windies. I mean, they're playing at home.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
want to give something to supporters. The supporters have been they've suffered a lot in recent
yeah.
times.
Hmm.
It's been absolute turmoil.
Yeah,
In the Caribbean in terms of cricket. I mean,
yeah,
it's just been one crisis after the other. So I think them winning the series would give them a bit of a consolation. And I think that's what the Windies fans want at the moment. They want a bit of
yeah,
consolation. And I mean, what better
yeah,
format than T20, where they've actually excelled in to give them the
yeah,
constellation. So that's how I'm seeing it. I mean, with India, if they were to
yeah.
lose the series, I don't think they'll really, be too bothered about it, because I think
Okay.
it was about experimenting players as well. And obviously, it's
Hmm.
World Cup year, so it's a busy schedule. So, you got to try
Yeah,
and rotate players as well. So, I don't think they'll be so disappointed with that. But I think there's a lot for West Indies to play for. They've got their pride to play for more than anything else, and their reputation.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll be pretty bad for them to lose to India's B plus side or whatever you call it.
100%.
So
Yes, correct. Yeah.
I don't know how you
Look
would
at it
call
that
it.
way. I mean, this is by no means a full strength Indian side. So, fancying their chances of winning the
Hmm.
series. So, that's why I'm edging them to take this one 3-2.
I'm feeling that West Indies might win a 3-2. I don't think India will roll over in the next one. I think it'll be very close. I think there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong in the decider also. There's nothing wrong in the decider. If India lose
absolutely
3-2, I
not.
think they
Absolutely. It's good
experiment.
for television.
I mean, otherwise, if you
Test
lose it
cricket,
before the decider, yeah.
uh, it draws the masses. So, side is fantastic for television.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you. I think our connection kind of broke there for a second.
I was saying a decider is good for television.
It's good for?
Television.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah, I think that's pretty much a wrap. I shall soon, man.
Yeah, cheers, Sid. Enjoy the rest of your holiday and chat to you soon.